I'm going to do hopefully a quick video today. It's kind of a continuation from yesterday because yesterday I was working on the same G4, right? So I ended up I actually want to switch out the transmission. I don't like what's happening with it. I don't like the way it's moving. It is a Kirby from 1994. I think it came out in 94. I think the G3 is from 90, 92, 93, and this came out in 94. Okay. If you ever want to know the year, just look at the serial number. I think the first couple of numbers will tell you what year it was made. Okay. But anyway, so yeah. But anyway, there's something that caught my attention, man, that I wanted to play, and I'm just gonna knock this out while I do this. But hopefully you can hear it enough, and I can kind of go over this. But there's something about it that kind of gave me, because I have two sons, and you're always wondering, your sons are driving, you don't want them getting in trouble, you don't want anything happening, but there's always a possibility, and that possibility can turn left or right. Doesn't matter whether it's black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. It's just what it is, right? In any encounter, at work, at anywhere, but especially in your situation when you're being stopped. And I saw this happen, and I'm like, it's very easy to jump to conclusion on it, but I have kids, and you keep trying to teach them these lessons, and it's not about fear, but it's about knowing, you're being aware, like know where you are, know the game you're in, know the rules of the game you're in, know who's playing. All of those things are very important. That's going to carry you through life, period. Right? Even knowing the uniform you're supposed to wear for the game you're going to be playing in. Like if I'm going to football, I'm not going to come dressed like a hockey player, right? So if I'm going to an interview, I'm not going to dress like I'm hanging out at the club. You know what I mean? If I'm going to church, right? Now some people, oh, it's a relaxed church, fine. But if the culture of that church is very formal, and you just want all the attention to be on you, yes, I guess you can go in jeans and flip flops or something like that, right? You know what I mean? So if you go into a formal banquet or something, some of these restaurants, put on a jacket, like the game that you're going to. So I'm gonna get my jacket. It's just using your head, having common sense. But anyway, let me take a look at this this here real quick, okay? All right, let me see if it's the right one. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can. I'm gonna see if I can turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see it a little while I take this apart.
Camera during a traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida. This February video going viral after driver William McNeil Jr., who filmed it inside of his car, posted it Sunday, drawing swift reaction since. It shows an interaction with police already in progress, including the moment an officer breaks McNeil's window and strikes him in the face.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hand. Here.
But the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says that the video doesn't tell the whole story.
Social media is not reality. One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading.
The sheriff tonight releasing officer-worn body camera footage showing McNeil pulled over for driving without headlights in the rain. They say he wouldn't provide his license and registration. You can hear officers repeatedly warning McNeil that if he did not comply with getting out of the vehicle...
Okay. All right. So let's pause there, because if anyone know the interaction, if you've seen this video already, big up to Anton Daniels. I'm watching his. I guess that's a short that he put together on this. So this is the credit goes to him on this video, but. So yeah, yes. All right. So you're driving on the road. So you got yourself a license. You got in order for you to put the car on the road, you got to get insurance. In order for you to actually be driving on the road, the agreement you made when you say, I want to live in this state. Okay, just look at it like that. I want to live in this state, and I want to go into this particular building. The building says in order for you to come in, you're going to have to take off your belt. You're going to have to take off your watch. You're gonna have to go through the thing. And now, if you don't want to go into the building and abide by the rules, then you go find a different building that provides the service or whatever it is you need. But let's say you decide, well, screw this. I'm not taking off my watch. I'm not taking off my belt. I'm not going to put my gun away. Let's say you have an open carry place, but they say, listen, to come into this place here, then your gun must be left here. Just like, in the Westerns, you know, leave your gun here at the saloon. Or what was that saw? Harder They Fall, I think it was. With the black cowboys, and they left the guns at the entrance. I think something with Thor one time, some thing I've watched with Thor, they wanted to leave the weapons or something. I'm not sure. I think it was an animation. Anyway, that's the rules of the game you're playing. The same thing with driving on the road in that particular town, your particular area. The cops ask you for your driver's and registration, and you don't provide it. Most likely, you're going to have a probably aggressive interaction. If the cop is a smooth cop, he could probably get it out of you nice and smooth. Maybe if he's one of those guys. But I don't like to take those kind of chances. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me, right? Now, it doesn't mean that if I did everything right, the encounter would be perfect. But I want the chances on my side, okay? And I also want to know when I have the leverage. Right now, in this scenario, this guy doesn't have the leverage because, one, he got pulled, and there's a bunch of them pulling up at this point. But one, he could be fearful also. He could be scared because there's been a good brainwashing done on a lot of people in our country about this kind of stuff, and it is what it is. And there's a lot of reality, and there's a lot of twisting and tweaking and spinning and stuff like that. Just let's all agree on that, right? let's agree on that. So a lot of the fathers will teach their kids exactly how to interact with police when the police come. You know, put your hands where they can see them, and just get. If you notice, a lot of the people that tell you this, is really what they're trying to do is get past this. Let's get past this. I'll deal with the aftermath later. Right now, we need to get past this and get home safely, right? And if that's not on your mind, if the first thing on your mind is defiance, or the first thing on your mind is argument, you're likely to have trouble. If you're trained to have argument to be the first thing that's coming from you, if that's the training, the conditioning, you're not going to negotiate your way out of anything. Right? Let's say you're trying to get something done and the person say no right away. Let's say just think about sales. Because I'm not buying nothing. Now, you don't have the leverage in that situation because you want the customer's money, right? You don't have the leverage. They have the leverage. You see what I'm saying? They have the leverage. Okay? So you make sure that you're smiling. You could be having a bad day, man. Your girlfriend could have broke up with you, right? That's not the place to show your attitude. Because the game I'm playing right now, let's say sales, is I'm trying to make this sale. That's the game I'm playing, right? So I'm dressed sharp, I put a smile on my face, I have a great attitude because people buy from who they like, right? So I would probably use sales in this situation. I really would. Make sure I'm doing everything because I got to build trust. These guys got to trust that I'm not going to have any funny, crazy business going on. Who has the leverage? Who has the weapons right now? Right? Who has the law on their side? Well, who can write a ticket? Even if it's I'm writing this ticket to this guy, man. They got leverage. Their pen gives them the ability to write a ticket. You think I want to pay? You know how many tickets I got, man? You know how many tickets I got going through Waysboro, bro? Driving through Waysboro, trying to rush to get to a sale. When I finally said to myself, the last ticket I got, speeding ticket, knock on wood, my kids was in the car. Okay? And I'm like, where am I rushing going, man? Look at this, man. Look at this, man. I can't believe I'm getting a speeding ticket in front of my boys, man. Damn. So I handled it properly, but I knew that I was speeding, and he has the leverage. So abide, license, registrations, here you go. Let's see where we go from there. Now, if it goes any further, if it goes beyond where it's supposed to go, hopefully I'm still alive, right? Of course, everybody hopes so. Then they're gonna let you know that you don't have the leverage instantly, just like a boss would. Just like somebody, just like a bouncer would. You go to a club and you try to step out line, or you try to, muscle your way through or whatever. He's gonna show you right away, you don't have the leverage here, man. Okay? And then you have to make a decision how you escalate. Either you de-escalate or you escalate. If you escalate, then you're putting yourself in a whole nother scenario. It's the same thing. It's just, we got to use our heads. Now, I'm not saying that this kid was right, wrong, the whole deal. I just know, based on that first part right there, because I remember the cop said, we're going to break the window, and they tell him a couple times, and finally they broke the window, because at that point, you're not releasing the stuff. Suspicions are rising up. Cops are surrounding the place. These guys are on edge. They're itching. They're probably itching for some action. Let's not, I don't know who they are. I don't know their personality type. They could be the best guys in the world, or they could be guys who are just itching for something, right? But I know for a fact, I know that I don't have the leverage here. Especially if you had the door open, you close the door, you put the windows up, and then you say, I'm not going to give you my license and registration. You're giving away a lot of the any kind of advantage you would have to say that you're in the right kind of deal. That's all I'm saying on something like that. So, I end up teaching my kids these kind of lessons, and you hope that that they don't find out the hard way, because the hard way hurts. Like, just imagine this guy. Yes, everyone's gonna hate anyone that says, oh, he should have done this, he should have complied, he should have done this. No, what he should have done for himself is to protect himself. Now, I think he thought he was protecting himself by shutting himself in the car. Because let's say he didn't have a license or registrations. Let's say his license was expired, and maybe survival mode. I heard a girl say something like that. Talk about a lot of these guys are in survival mode. So they're very aggressive, right? And I never thought about it in that. I never thought about it in that way. Survival mode. Think about it. If you're walking around in survival mode all the time, you don't have time to create things. Like a society that's at war constantly do not have time to create. They don't have time to innovate. They're at war. They may innovate a new strategy for war, maybe. Maybe they'll innovate a new way to kill. But I'm talking about a society that is being bombarded with turmoil and war. They don't have, they're scientists. They're not pondering new things. They're just trying to survive. They're in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with people. And when you're in survival mode, you're not thinking. You're not thinking clear. And I don't want my boys in survival mode. But they also have to understand when what game am I in? Do I have leverage? No, I don't. Did I give up my leverage? Yes. Did I erode my trust? Yes. If I don't have trust, what's going to happen? What's the next result? So if this cop don't have trust, what's the next result? How do I build trust real quick? And if you can't think on your feet, man, if you're in survival mode, you can't think. You can't think your way through. Man, I had a dude in my car, man. I hope he's still alive, man. I hope I can say his name. His name is Ike, right? I hope he's still alive, man. This guy was so funny. So we're in the Bronx, and I guess we were rushing to get to the next sale kind of thing, and we got pulled over by the cop, right? So the crew leader, he's giving them the license and all that. And Ike is there in the driver's seat and the passenger seat talking all kind of shit, man. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Shut up, bro. What are you trying to get us in trouble? Ike's a little dude too. He's like the smallest guy in the whole crew, but he had the biggest mouth, And he's like, man, you ain't. I was like, man, bro, you better shut your mouth, man. Let's get our butts home. Oh my God, man. But anyway, I was just talking about that, man. So yeah, you don't want to hear. I mean, obviously, if that cop is gonna be in trouble, smashing the window, punching the guy in the face, all that stuff. I don't know what kind of code or what kind of rules that falls in. But if he crossed the line, just know that it's gonna either they're gonna be able to file a civil suit or whatever, right? Or the cop may be on leave or whatever if a line was crossed, right? But you also in a position of authority have to know that you don't want to give up your leverage either, because you overstep your authority. You're giving up your protection. You're giving that up voluntarily. Okay, so you know what I mean? Unfortunately, traffic stops, they're not like debates where you learn your lesson later. You can die in a scenario, right? Cop or the person being stopped. So that's not really a place to play around. You know what I mean? Just because you don't know. I don't know what kind of day this guy had. Cop could have been pissed off at his wife. Pissed. He'd find out that something with his girlfriend or something, or the girl, and now he's meets me that day, at that morning, pissed off. You kidding me? You better learn how to sell. You better learn how to close, man. You better learn how to say, hey, officer, man, it's a great day today. I'm hoping you're feeling as good like I am. Something like that. You better learn quick because you're in that situation and you don't know, right? You honestly don't know, right? So the same thing when you go into an interview, the same thing you go when you're dealing with people of any kind of authority. If you're the buck the authority kind of person because you just think that, well, I'm gonna buck the authority. Okay, do that until you find out. Most people find out on the job, and they find out quick they don't have the leverage they think they have. They find out quick the company can move on without them. You see what I'm saying? But in a situation like this, you don't want to find out. You don't want to find out that you don't have the leverage. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to find out that way. So take it up later. Like, take it up later, man. Like, damn. The moment you got stopped, it's like, all right. You know what I mean? It's like this next part is out of your hands. Okay? The moment you got stopped, that means it's going to be up to this next person here, this officer, about what happens next. I can assist what happens next, but man, damn. You know what I mean? Like you're playing those games and you're the one that got tagged, right? It's like, damn, they got me. Shit. Damn. So this is what I'm gonna do with this, man. I'm gonna swap this out. Man. And I'm hoping that this is the same. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that this gear is the same size. These gears may differ sometimes, but from the looks of things, these should be the same. All right. This is too a little janky for me, and I could just maybe go inside, open this thing up, and tweak it. But I have a lot of these. I'm just gonna swap it out. Okay. And if one of you, maybe one day you're in a situation you want to swap this thing out, you can. Okay. It's just, I think you do the same thing with warranty. This whole kind of leverage idea. Like if you owe money, if you owe it, you don't have the leverage, dude. If you owe it, you don't have the leverage. You know what I mean? Someone else have the leverage. Someone else is in control right now. And you either have to learn how to maneuver or how to get the leverage. And that's it. That's how that is. Okay? Think about when a war, like you ever watch war in TV? Like, what do you call that? What do you call that show? Golly, what's the show? Game of Thrones? And it's a fight for power and leverage. It's all about that, man. And knowing when you have it, and knowing how to use it, and knowing how to be, knowing how to be, I wouldn't say kind, but have to be wise with how you wield your power, right? There's a wisdom to it. When you don't have it, you got to know that you don't have it. And a lot of kids grow up thinking they're very entitled and not realizing that dude, you don't have the leverage. And this kid, unfortunately, I'm glad he didn't. Nothing happened. Like, you know what I mean. I'm glad he didn't find out the hardest possible way. And I'm not even saying that he's in the wrong. I don't know the whole video, but I do know he opened the car door, and that's why I said, you know what? Let me go back and watch it from the beginning, and check it out when you get a chance. Check out the video when you get a chance. Let me see something. Let me see if you can still see it.
They would break his window and put him under arrest.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. Step out. Wait for reason.
The sheriff says none of the involved officers violated criminal law, but an administrative review is ongoing.
Yes, there absolutely was forced use on the arresting officers, and yes, that force is armed. And just because force is armed does not mean it's unlawful.
NBC News has not spoken to McNeil directly, but his lawyer says he's still recovering. His teeth actually went.
Yeah. So most likely this kid's gonna get some kind of payout. You know, wish him recovery. And at the same time, the police, you know, you just kind of hope that it wasn't due to I was having a bad day and I took it out on you kind of thing, or that we just got spun and this thing was really a totally different thing, and we got spun into a whole different frenzy, and it's nothing is exactly what you see it is. You know what I mean? So you just have to be very careful before you rush to judgment. I'm just looking at the behavior part of it. I'm not looking at who's right and wrong and all this other stuff. I'm talking about thinking on your feet, okay? And kind of knowing when is like, all right, can I close this? Can I get out of this one? Can I close this deal? Is this one, you know, it's funny when people do this, when they see, let's say you go to a, I don't know, you go to a meeting or you go to somewhere and you see someone that, let's say you're a woman and the person's a woman. Let's say you're a blonde, she's a blonde. Let's say you're black, she's black. Let's say, there's a whole lot of things. You're big and he's big. You're tall. You kind of feel that you can connect, right? So I can imagine a lot of times in these scenarios, people would see an individual and assume that, okay, yeah, I can connect, right? But can you imagine if that's the only way you know how to connect, if someone looks like you? Is that a bad way to teach a whole group of people to... Okay, I'll give you an example. Last night, I'm doing business with Kirby distributor, okay? And these guys work these different hours, man. It's been a minute. And he wanted to pick up some supplies and stuff. And so it doesn't matter. These guys, man, their guys can be in the next town. And if their guys need machines, these guys are going to go out there and drop it off. Okay. But I saw that the guy had a, hey, what's up, man? What's happening? I saw that the guy had a, well, actually, my wife was here with me. She saw it. That he had a Trump tag on his hand. He's a black guy, right? And she was like, you going knocking doors with your Trump band, huh? He says, hell yeah, right? So he gave me the door pitch, right? And I was like, that's pretty slick, bro. Anyway, his door pitch ended with, and our product is American made, and we want to make America what? And the lady would say, great again. Yeah, all right, let me go get my stuff, right? So that was his door. I thought it was pretty slick. I said, that's a good door pitch. But the idea was, it's like, listen, he said, man, I don't have time. I see green. I don't have time to be into this, I see a Trump flag. I'm not going to go to their house. I see a Confederate flag. I don't want to go to their house. He said, I don't got time for that shit. Some of these people don't even think that way. It's just, that's who they're for, or they have a particular reason, whatever it is. But once you find out, is money. So I said, you're right. Imagine if that guy is a distributor, only knew how to sell to black people or people with I don't know, Biden, Harris or something, and they're drawing their lawn. What kind of stupid thing would that be if that's the only people you know how to connect with? You'll be limiting your pool. You'll be like literally going like this to the possible amount of opportunities you can generate for yourself, because you're stuck in like a hate mode or fear mode, or, well, I can't talk to them because they don't look like me. Or I want people to look like me. That's ridiculous. Who was selling you this? Who's convincing you of this? Who told you this? That you can only, I want more people that, I don't care who they look like. Okay? They're people. They conduct business. Let's do business. Let's talk. Let's party. Let's learn together. Let's build together. Let's make music together. Who cares, bro? But that affects you, though, when you're going to an interview, or when you're trying to sell, or when you're trying to deal with an officer, let's say. Your brain is going in, and you feel, oh, white officer, oh, shit, damn. Black officer, I know, I bet he's cool. That black guy might be in a whole different state of mind. He might not even be who you think he is, right? He might be worse than any white cop you can ever run into. Who knows? But you learn to sell yourself. Learn, like, this is it. This is the value right here. This is the value, right? This is the value. What you bring and the way you handle your scenarios, the way you handle your situations is the value, okay? That's the value, man. The creativity, and creativity is in situations too. Like, okay, this lady came in here, right? She was on her way in. She backed up. And I'm here, I made the assumption, right? I'm thinking she's going to the barbershop, right? She backed up in front of the barbershop, right? And I was thinking, man, I'm just thinking, and I should have said hi, right? And normally I would say hi to the people that come by, because I never know who it is. But at this particular moment, it was a young lady. She stepped out. She was looking very, like, meanie. You know, normally I would purposely say hi to these people when they look like having a bad day, just to put a smile on their face. But this time I didn't. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, right? Anyway, I'm opening the door. I'm thinking she's going to barbershop, and the door is closing behind me. And I happen to turn around, and she's walking right through the door. I was, oh, she's coming to see me. I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I opened the door for her, right? Come on in. Oh, my apologies, man. I had no, I was just, he said, oh, no problem. And we spoke the whole deal. And I'm like, wow, damn, Wayne, you got to stay in your game, bro. You don't know who you're dealing with, you know, and she might be walking around with the attitude for a reason. Maybe she, I don't know, man. Some women, they see guys and they just think, guys, you know. But that's the idea, right? You know who I learned this from? The first people I learned this from, and I'm gonna be done. Let me sneak over here. Who's this here? Oh, what's up, vacuum guy? Yo, man, what's happening? No, actually, no. I sold some of this simplicities. I didn't sell the Royal parts, supplies. Sold shampooer. What else? I didn't sell the Crosswave, but that Royal, right? It's an old school Royal. You know, you have to really be, I'm going to find a way to get rid of it, though. Don't worry. Vacuum guy, I'm going to find a way to get rid of it. But anyway, that's it, guys. So I learned it from these Jamaican ladies, right, in New York, right? They were like very, very aggressive, man. If they tell you no, it's no. It's like, no. Ross, get away from the door, you know. They were working, they're working. And what it is that they do this. They put their words, right? They're softies. They're softies, guys. They're like, when I say softies, these ladies are like, they'll feed you. Once you're in, they'll take care of you, man. These ladies are they're very homely ladies for the most part, right? But if you see you're a salesman, they got this guard up, right away. What you want? I'm not buying nothing. I don't care what you say. So if If you're timid, the moment that they look at you, they're gonna just like run you away, like, hey, baby, like, oh my gosh. Oh man, hey, listen, big up to the Jamaicans. Big up to the Jamaicans, man, because you guys taught me a lot. And then, so the lady they'll start screaming at you, right? And then you say, look, oh my gosh. I don't know if we could do it now. I think I told the story on my channel before, but they say, oh my gosh, how are ladies so beautiful like you? Screaming so loud and making me feel so, what's going on? I'm just showing something. You look too nice to be acting like, what happened to you? Is everything okay? And then, no, that happened to me. You stop it. You know, you just try to sweet talk me. You said, oh, no, I'm not trying to sweet talk you. We're just showing something nice for the house. You know, that's all. That's right. And if we can banter back and forth like that, then we build a quick rapport, build quick trust. Remember, she has the leverage. She has the money, right? So it's my job to sell her, you know. And then that's it. That's how that goes. But you gotta know when you have it, man. Okay? If you have a captain, the team captain have the leverage, kiddo. If you become the most valuable player, yes, you're increasing your leverage. You are, because you become the most valuable player. So you may be able to get some things. And it's just basic smarts, man. It's just common sense stuff. All right? Okay? Let me see what we got. Yes, I was able to swap this out. I feel good about it. I'm going to test this bad boy and see if that transmission is zinging. Yeah, man. Vacuum guy, we got to do something, bro. We got to do something. All right? I want to see what new collections you got, if you picked up anything new. Okay? Let me see if I can answer any questions. What's up? Who's that? John. What's up, John? Man, I'm sorry, guys. These things are so tiny, and my eyes are acting a lot older than I am. I don't know why they're acting like this for. Okay, hold on. Oh, here's my parting question for you guys. I'm almost done here, so I'm about to be out of here. But here's my parting question for you. I asked her this morning. She wasn't really interested in my question, but I'm gonna ask you guys anyway. Do you think babies have self-talk? Right? Like, think about it for a second. Just really, really think about it. You and I can think to ourselves, and we're thinking. Now, sometimes we have memories of something that happened. We saw a movie. We remember the movie. We remember the lyrics. So we have words to form what we want to say. Now, baby just comes out. Baby doesn't know how to talk, right? Baby just cries out of instinct. In my mind, I'm like, okay. So I know how I think about things. If I want to plan something, and normally I can hear it in my own voice, right? Right? And I'm visualizing stuff. But that baby at that point, isn't it just instincts like I'm hungry? Like the baby don't even know how to say I'm hungry. If you think about it, it's just hunger pain, cry. Now, the baby can't say I'm gonna cry now and see if she. Who's that baby on Family Guy? Is it Stewie or something like that? That he's talking and thinking and talking like, you know, like a real sophisticated man or whatever you want to call it. But babies, I don't know, man. If someone has an answer for that one, that would be a good one. I don't know. Like, it seemed like it's instinct, and I would like to know, like, at what point did the first thought, like, that has words form in a child's mind? Because in Afghanistan, they're teaching them what? Arabic, maybe? So the word for, like, breast, whatever, right? Like milk, like whatever, right? The baby said, I saw that thing, and that thing last time fed me. I want more of that, right? But the baby don't have the words to say that. Right? The baby don't know. You didn't teach him those words. So the lady in Afghanistan, she's gonna teach the baby a different word for that name. People in China, the people in Africa, the different parts of Africa, people in Australia, well, they probably have the same name, maybe. But Anyway, it's stupid stuff that come to my mind like that. Make me wonder. As babies, do they talk to themselves? You know, like I'm in this damn crib and I've been crying for like ever, and you gave me milk and I didn't want the milk. I wanted that other sweet thing that my sister, the sister over there gave me. She gave me the grandmother, the one with the gray hair. She gave me this sweet thing. That's what I want. It's like, you know, orange, you know, I don't know. They can't say carrots. They can't say applesauce, you know. So when do kids get their first thought? I mean, I never thought about that before until this morning. Okay, anyway. All right, let me see if this thing can zing back and forth the way I like it. And if it's the case, then we're done, guys. We're done. I just want to put it back together again. That's all. I just want to whip this Kirby back together. No big deal. I just want to sign on today. I want to thank everybody. Thank Vacuum Guy, man. You are the man. Thanks for constantly tuning in. Oh, yeah. Yes. The way I test it, the wheels go back, the wheels go forward. So that's the tech drive on the Kirby. And this guy was just kind of wonky, so I'm just gonna get rid of this. When I just want to open up tech drives and see the workings, I'll use the ones that kind of messed up, and I want to see if there's anything weird in there. They wanted the teeth break or something, but normally, guys, just replace your drive. You can get one online. You can buy a new one on our site if you want. You know what I should have done? I have this this lubricant that I use. I really like this stuff. And if you ever go inside this tech drive, just lubricate the this area here. I should have done it to that one, but I didn't. It had some industrial grease already on it. But just spray this little section right here. That's where that slider goes back and forth to put your gear in and out of gear. So this stuff is pretty good. Okay. I like it. And then, you know, my trusty glove. And last but not least, last night I took apart this, guys. I took apart this little guy here in last night's show at 7 o'clock. And it's just the motor from the looks of things. It don't look like anything fancy. I think it's the size of the motor versus the size of this. That's probably what it is. And the, oh God, I got dirt all over this now. I gotta clean it up. And it's probably the shade. It's probably this whole setup is probably what the secret is. Okay, it's a tiny little vac with the motor is a half the size of the body. So when you turn it on, you're not expecting it, and this thing just tears into. You know, I'm very impressed by this little guy. So, but I checked the motor. I'm like, is this a motor? I was expecting like some super coils, and you know, like in Fast and Furious, where they have like the NOS and they got the glow in the dark kind of engine. I was expecting something like that, you know, for how powerful this little guy is. But no, it's just a motor. I think it's the design. All the power goes into design. Guys, I'm gonna see you guys again. I got some other things I need to do today. And normally we don't shoot on days. No, the live is tomorrow. I'm gonna do probably a short one at 1 o'clock, and then I'll do another one at 7 o'clock. Let me scroll through and see if there's anything I can actually answer here. That is all right. Okay. Well, Vacuum Guy, I'm gonna see you again. Hey, listen. I hope that we can link up and do a show together one day. Okay. You had mentioned that. And I think that would be a good idea. I think it'd be a good idea, man. I want to see some of the things you're into. And the other day you had changed the motor to a Auric, and I actually recorded it, and I was like, you know what, that would have been cool to see a young kid like that actually switch out a motor on an Auric. I think that's pretty slick. Anyway, guys, see you guys later. But ponder that question: do babies have self-talk? Leave your comments in the comment section. All right, I'll see you again. Peace.